Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 6 Premium French destroyer, Aigle. Aigle is the first official French destroyer to show up in the premium shop, and it's going to be coming out probably a week or two from now. That's my guess. I don't know. They didn't tell me. They just said the stats are final. Talk about it. And I want to talk about this ship because I enjoy it. It is a unique destroyer platform. It has 139mm guns, so it is the absolute last caliber that benefits from advanced firing training and basic firing training on the main armament side. I really don't see advanced firing training working on this. Now, that's not to say that any community contributor or anyone, make it work, great for you. For me personally, it's inconsistent. It extends that auto detection range further. 12.8 is already ridiculous. I'm already trying to think, is the battleship in range? Is he not in range? That is a gift and a curse, your gun range, especially as a destroyer. You're supposed to be concealed, but you can't be concealed if you're spotted over half the map. The better strategy, I think, is to fire over islands, take out the enemy destroyers quickly because you really kick their butts in health. 19,000 with survivability expert. I'm rocking basic firing training, demolition expert, so I have 12% fire on the guns. Last stand. I also have access to expert marksman, and the reason I have expert marksman is because the turret traverse is abysmal. Nothing new to these gunboats. The Soviet destroyers deal with that same issue, and early to mid-tier, you have to compensate by picking up expert marksman. You give up adrenaline rush, jack of all trades, the smoke, all that stuff you can't take. You gotta take last stand, and you have to take expert marksman for it to feel comfortable. But once you do that, guns will kick the butt of destroyers. It has wonderful health, great rate of fire. It's very quick. It's not the quickest, not very nimble. I'm gonna be completely frank. It's not something you openly fire. You're not gonna find the kind of success that you want. But if you play within the design of the ship, you will enjoy a lot of damage output. You will take out enemy destroyers that want to go toe-to-toe with you because they don't understand what you are. And you're going to feel really awesome doing it. I remember some earlier videos and earlier games in the ship. It was 4, 5, 6 destroyers per side, and the destroyers would be just taken out. Wiped out one by one by one. I would kill 3 DDs before they would kill me because I have basically like twice the amount of health that most DDs have, or 8,000 at this point. And I definitely kick their butt in rate of fire. So it's a really nice design. I would like to see this reach the French DD line whenever it's introduced. And you can see what I'm doing. I'm just finding an island, parking myself. It's got good responsiveness. The shell arc allows me to engage. As the enemy is approaching the island, though, I do have to find a more shallow island to hide behind. But it does pretty good damage whenever it hits the right spot, of course. If it hits the gun, it shatters. Every destroyer caliber is going to shatter on the guns. But that's okay. I do have torpedoes that I could potentially use. There was a Leander, and I'm afraid of this guy, so instead I'm just going to help the Fuso and fire openly on this guy. I just figure they're not going to engage me. It's not worth their effort when there's an enemy closer to them. And we do set them on fire, and we're starting to do some damage, and it's starting out slow. There was a lot of shots earlier on where I was just hitting the gun. The AP's actually pretty good. But as you can see, the way the shell gets the target, it's really hard to guarantee that it's going to hit something where the AP is not going to ricochet or whatever. And I just need to be more confident in that. But the AP does really good damage, 2,600 per shot. You're really starting to feel that. And, I mean, this rate of fire is intense. You could just see the shells are always in the air. So we're doing about 9,000 every 3 to 5 seconds, plus the fire tick. And if we get lucky, we get a better location where it's 1,500, 2,000. And the enemy Gneisenau now is taken out. I enjoy the camouflage. I think it looks great. I really don't have an issue with this design. I think it's unique. It's different. I prefer that in a premium. I would definitely like something over the Cossack. That design was just boring to me too. The worst thing that you can do is release a premium that doesn't offer anything unique. You might say, oh, well, what about the T-61? It's just a German. But there's nothing like it at that tier for the Germans. The Germans have to choose between 128 and 150. Or, what was it? And I don't even remember the larger caliber. Either way, the Germans have to choose between a large or small. They make compromises. That's what they have to choose from. Their rate of fire isn't there. The torpedo reload isn't there. There's definitely uniqueness in the T-61's package. Is it, completely different? Is it flying? No. No, of course not. So I move forward and I'm going after the Leander. And this is very brazen. Very, very brazen. I was a little shocked that there are torpedoes from the enemy. And unfortunately, man, we lose a couple. But we're doing pretty good damage. The British cruisers take so much damage because they have no armor, If I can actually hit the shots, then they do a lot of damage. And it looks like friendlies are not going to be able to. Okay, so mostly we were able to avoid that. I was just openly showing my side. Definitely wouldn't recommend that. Probably should have went in smoke and then, punished. Punished hard. There was at least one, if not two, of the AP battleship shell stick in the ship. I think that might be a weakness of the ship. Because of its length, if you have any slight angling when the shell is calculated entering the ship, there's a good chance it's going to stay in the ship. And AP battleship damage is intense, but it's not going to be here forever. I don't know when they'll change that. I would imagine in 6 months' time, it could be an irrelevant bit of information. And if you're watching this in 6 months, it's like, that doesn't exist like that. Yeah. But we took a ton of damage there, didn't we? If we didn't invest in survivability, if we weren't in this French destroyer, we'd probably be dead. Probably already be dead. So I was going to use the speed. You can see we're touching 45 knots to get over here and surprise this guy. Shell my side, kill him real quick. I do take him out. He does good damage to me too, though. And now we're really low. Now it's dangerous. I had to stop before the enemy battleship spotted me, and he still catches sight of me. But the engines respond very well. We can pull right back. We're cool. We're fine. We're fine. This guy is something you don't want to run up against as a Japanese. Even a German destroyer is probably going to lose in a one-on-one gun duel with this. The British Gallant, it's designed to hunt destroyers. It's got probably the highest damage per shot in the game against a DD. And if it wasn't for the gun velocity, this would wreck everything. So that would inform me that they 100% expect you to wipe out DDs. So we got a battleship, and the battleship seems to be moving forward. Finally, we'll get to see these torpedoes in action. I'm going to use my smoke. It's nothing to write home about. It's a regular smoke with a long cooldown. Unlike the Cossack, though, its gun systems are actually good, and the rate of fire's excellent with torpedoes that are actually usable. And this is an instance where the enemy appears to be moving closer. So I'm going to send my torpedoes knowing that he's going to close that gap, and we should be able to kill him. The enemy team has to make a play, and I'm sure that he can consider... Maybe he has torpedoes, but I know he doesn't have any idea of the exact range that my torpedoes are effective at. And some people would be shocked by these torpedoes actually being usable, considering how effective this thing is at killing DDs in close proximity. The Soviets are good at it, but they got 4 kilometers at this tier. And we take them out. Easy. 2 torpedoes make contact, and the friendlies take out the other targets. So, super solid ship if played correctly. However, the T-61 is coming out soon as well to the premium shop. I would definitely go towards the T-61 if you want a more traditional destroyer playstyle. This is like a light cruiser, and some people don't like that. That's okay. I hope this was interesting. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.